During the spring semester, when students were in virtual learning, it sounded fun at first. No school. But as the days went by and my golf season got canceled, I hadn't seen my friends in over a month, and I had not learned a single thing in almost a semester of school. I realized that this was not as glorious as I thought it would be. This topic is so relevant at this time because as the school year approaches us very quickly and the number of cases of COVID-19 still not decreasing, school systems and parents are frantic to make a decision about how this school year is going to take place. And they're running out of time. I've experienced virtual learning from many different perspectives. I'm a student that has experienced it, and I have seen my mom deal with it, and not only as a parent, but as an educator. Me and my mom both agreed that virtual learning was not a good environment for a student, parent, or a teacher, so we heavily researched about how we could make in-class learning happen while being safe and precautious of COVID-19. Schools should allow kids to go back to regular school instead of doing virtual learning. Schools need to reopen for the upcoming school year. There are many alternatives to virtual school, like masks, seating arrangements, groups of students, etc. In-classroom learning will change kids' lives socially, emotionally, and physically. It has been proven that kids learn the best in a classroom over virtual learning. A new Harvard study shows that students prefer traditional classroom-style learning compared to lectures. Students were put in groups and separated, one group in a lecture with an experienced instructor and one group in an active learning classroom. At the end of the trial period, the students were tested and the active learning group scored higher on the test. Young children who are just starting their first years of school should not be learning fundamental things in a virtual classroom. Children need to be in a comfortable classroom where they can learn and grow. According to neurologist Judy Willis, who did a study on in-class learning, this suggests that superior learning takes place when classroom experiences are enjoyable and relevant to students' lives, interests, and experiences. At these young ages, kids need to be in situations like this so that they can receive superior learning. Not only do kids learn better in a classroom, but school provides things that an online classroom can't. Schools should make all students wear masks, spread the desks out throughout the classroom, and put the students in groups that they stay with for the whole day, whether it be in the classroom, lunch, or recess. The whole reason that this is even a discussion is because of the global pandemic that we are living in right now, and I understand that it is scary. But with the right precautions, schools should be able to open without increasing the spread of COVID-19. Joseph G. Allen is an assistant professor of exposure assessment science, director of the Healthy Buildings program at Harvard University's T.H. Chan School of Public Health. He specializes in telling people if they can enter so-called sick buildings. When all this started, he was asked if children should be able to go back to school, and he asked himself the question, would I let my own kids go back to school? And his answer was yes, with the right precautions. Joseph Allen and his team at Harvard came up with a plan to effectively reopen schools in the fall. The steps to doing this successfully are, number one, create a culture of health, safety, and shared responsibility. No single control strategy alone is sufficient, and no single individual is solely responsible. Reopening schools safely will require a change in culture to a health-first mindset, with everyone playing a role. Number two, staying home if sick. Students with symptoms should be sent home immediately or quarantined in an open and well-ventilated space. Number three, wear masks with breaks built into the days. Students, teachers, and administrators should wear masks to and from school in common areas and in classrooms when physical distancing is not possible. Schools should create mask-free time to reduce fatigue. Number five, wash hands frequently. Cleaning and disinfecting all surfaces all day long is impractical. The better approach is frequent hand washing and the use of hand sanitizer. Number six, clean the air indoors. Start working on air cleaning now. Schools should find out how much fresh air they can bring into their building. Increase the ventilation rate if you have a mechanical system, and open windows if you don't. Supplement that with higher level filters and considering getting portable air purifiers for your classrooms. Number seven, physically distance to protect individual health. Do your best to maintain 6 feet of separation in classrooms, but don't keep kids out of the classroom just because there isn't enough space. Remember, hospitals don't physically distance. They rely on other controls. Number 8, socially distance to slow the transmission chains. Keep classes operating as subgroups and separate these groups as much as possible. This can help prevent many outbreaks from infecting the whole school. Education plays a huge role in this argument, but education is not the only thing that in-class learning offers to these kids. Letting these kids experience in-class learning will give them social and emotional skills that will help them throughout their entire life. Schools provide more than just academics to children and adolescents. In addition to reading, writing, and math, children learn social and emotional skills. Kids will thrive in classrooms, as they always have. The memories and skills that I picked up in this time period are some that I'll never forget. I still am best friends with some of the kids from my elementary school, and I don't think any child should be robbed of these vital years of their life, especially when there are effective ways that we can prevent this pandemic from spreading. I have experienced the virtual learning experience, and I can say firsthand that being isolated from social interaction can take a serious toll on someone's mental health. Luckily, I had the experience to be in a classroom my whole life, so I built these social and emotional skills, but there are kids at a crucial age when they need to be in a classroom with other kids their age and not in their home looking at a computer screen all day. If these kids do not go back into the classroom this fall, this decision will affect the rest of their life in a negative way. My mom works directly with this age group, and she says that it is vital for their mental and physical health that they be in a classroom this year. In conclusion, these three main reasons are just the tip of the iceberg of why kids should be in a classroom this year. Schools should allow kids to go back to regular school instead of doing virtual learning. The facts don't lie. It is proven through studies that kids are more successful when learning in a classroom other than a virtual classroom. There are also so many ways to prevent the spread of this virus that we could implement in schools, and children need these years to develop certain skills that will be vital to their lives later in life. I want every single one of you to take these three main steps and show them to your school board and push as hard as you can for your kids or for you or your kids to go back to school this year. Make a plan to set up the classroom in the safest way possible because kids need these years whether you think they do or not.